The crypto market is on the brink of a historic shift for U.S. investors, and the political news headlines completely miss the story that matters most. This is not about speculation. This is about a strategic political move that could trigger a massive Hedera HBAR price prediction and redefine your investment portfolio. For every U.S. investor interested in crypto and altcoin investing, the time to pay attention is now. We're talking about HBAR, the native cryptocurrency of the Hedera Hashgraph network, which is poised for an explosive bull run in 2025 and 2026. This isn't just another Hedera review. This is a deep dive into the political catalysts that are setting up a definitive HBAR price prediction and could lead to a significant investment return. This is the information your financial advisor won't tell you, because they're not allowed to. And the mainstream news isn't covering it, because they don't understand it. But you will. If you're interested in this topic and want to understand how to position your portfolio, hit the like button, subscribe, and type "interested" in the comments. I will give you a heart. This is a political and financial deep dive into HBAR's future you won't find anywhere else. Let's get into it. Let's start with the political grenade that was thrown into the world of finance, and nobody heard the pin drop. The White House, in a move that blindsided many, signed an executive order to democratize access to alternative assets for 401k investors. Now, I know what you're thinking. What the heck does that even mean for me? Well, it means everything. For decades, your 401k has been a bit like a cafeteria with a very limited menu. You had your chicken, stocks, your green beans, bonds, and maybe a scoop of mashed potatoes, cash. That's it. You were told to be grateful, that it was for your own good. The reason? The Employee Retirement Income Security Act of 1974, or ERISA, which was designed to protect you from bad investments. But over time, it became a padlock, not a safety net, locking you out of the most promising growth opportunities. Wall Street had a different menu: the steak, the lobster, the rare wines, in the form of private equity, real estate, and yes, digital assets. This executive order changes that. It directs federal agencies, including the Department of Labor, to revise the definition of qualified assets. This is a political act, a signal that the administration believes Main Street deserves the same access to wealth creation as Wall Street. And we're not talking about a small change. We're talking about a multi-trillion-dollar pool of capital. Over 90 million Americans have these plans. A tiny fraction of that money, even just 1%, flowing into crypto could be an unstoppable tidal wave. Think of it like this. A few years ago, we were told to be extremely cautious, to not touch crypto with a 10-foot pole. Now the government is saying, hey, maybe this isn't so bad after all. Maybe we should give the average American the option. This isn't a sudden change of heart, it's a political acknowledgement of a new financial reality. And while the rulemaking process will take months and retirement providers will need to develop new products, the direction is now undeniable. The train has left the station. The destination is a world where your retirement portfolio isn't limited to legacy finance. The track for that train? It's being built on networks like Hedera. The SEC is not a neutral party. It's a government body with political motivations, and it's being pushed to open the floodgates. For years, Gary Gensler and the SEC have been the boogeyman for crypto, delaying and denying spot ETF applications. But we all saw what happened. First, a spot Bitcoin ETF was approved. Then, in a stunning reversal, a spot Ethereum ETF was approved. And just a couple of months ago, we saw the approval of Grayscale's multi-crypto ETF, which includes a portfolio of major altcoins. This is a game changer. The wall has been breached. Now, let's talk about the specific, ticking clock for Hedera. We have the Canary Bar ETF filing on the table. The SEC, in a typical bureaucratic move, has already delayed it once. But now, the new deadline is looming, September 9, 2025. Under this new political climate, the probability of approval is at an all-time high. I'd put it at 65 to 70%. The SEC can't keep saying yes to Bitcoin and Ethereum and then no to everything else without looking foolish. The political pressure is immense. The White House has now signaled a more pro-crypto stance, and the SEC, like any government body, is going to fall in line. So what is a spot ETF, you ask? Think of it like this. Instead of you having to go to a confusing crypto exchange, create a digital wallet, and manage private keys, which, let's be honest, sounds like a lot of work for a guy who just wants to retire, You can simply buy shares of the HBAR ETF through your regular brokerage account, like Fidelity or Schwab. The fund itself holds the HBAR, and your shares represent your ownership. It's an easy, regulated, and safe way for trillions of dollars from pensions and 401ks to get exposure to this asset. A month from now, just as Americans get the green light to invest their retirement funds into alternative assets, they could have a brand new HBAR ETF waiting for them. That's not a coincidence. That's a political alignment. And it's the kind of strategic move that has a massive impact on an HBAR price prediction. But this is all still theory, right? Let's look at the charts, because the technicals are telling the same story. The charts never lie. They're a reflection of human psychology and the money flowing in and out of the market. And right now, the chart is screaming a familiar message. I want you to look back at the chart from January 2023. See that W pattern? It's a classic sign of an asset bottoming out and preparing for a major move. First, a big move up, as the early smart money gets in. Then, sideways consolidation, as the market tries to figure out what's next. A double bottom, where the price drops a second time to shake out the weak hands and make them give up their bags. And then that final, slow retracement, which is where we are now. It's the moment before the spring is released. After that pattern completed in 2023, HBAR exploded, doubling in price in just a few weeks. It was a massive move. Now, look at where we are today. It's almost a perfect mirror image of that same exact pattern. We've seen the initial move up, the consolidation, the double bottom, and we are now in the final retracement. This is not a guess. This is the market telling you that it is coiling up, anticipating something huge. It's anticipating the political green light from the White House and the regulatory approval from the SEC. It's anticipating a massive influx of capital. This chart is a consequence of those political events. And that's how we get to that HBAR price prediction of 45 cents and beyond. But what if there's an even bigger political story behind all of this? Everyone is talking about AI. But few are talking about the fact that AI is now a political weapon. A country that controls AI controls the future. And a country that can secure its AI has a massive advantage. This is why the recent partnership between Hedera and NVIDIA is so much more than a business deal. It's a political power play. It's about trust and verifiability in a world of deepfakes and machine-generated misinformation. Hedera, in a groundbreaking partnership with NVIDIA and Intel, is integrating something called verifiable compute into NVIDIA's new Blackwell chips. In simple terms, this means that every decision an AI makes, every piece of data it processes, can be instantly and immutably logged on the Hedera network. Think of it as a permanent, tamper-proof record of every single thought a machine has. Why is this so important? Well, imagine a self-driving car gets into an accident. Who is responsible? How do you prove what the AI saw or decided? With verifiable compute on Hedera, you have an unbreakable audit trail. Or think about a financial AI that's making trades for a major bank. You need to know that its decisions are transparent and not malicious. This is a government-level endorsement in all but name. NVIDIA chose Hedera because it is the most secure, fastest, and most trustworthy network for this purpose. They didn't pick Bitcoin or Ethereum, they picked the enterprise-grade solution. This partnership positions Hedera at the heart of the most important technological race of our generation, and it's a massive catalyst for an HBAR price prediction. But here's a detail that's even more surprising, and it involves a central bank you wouldn't expect. It's not just the US government and Silicon Valley giants giving a nod to Hedera. This is a global political and financial movement. The Reserve Bank of Australia, their central bank, is running a pilot program called Project Acacia on the Hedera network. They're exploring how a central bank digital currency, CBDC, could be used for real-time, cross-border settlement. Think about that for a second. An entire sovereign nation is putting its financial trust into this network. They are testing the future of their money on a public ledger. And they're not alone. The global financial messaging giant SWIFT, which moves trillions of dollars a day between banks, is using a platform that Hedera is a key part of. This is the equivalent of the global postal service deciding to use a new, digital system for all international mail. And just a few days ago, Lloyds Bank in the UK, a historically conservative financial institution, announced it's using Hedera for tokenized real-world assets. These are not simple business deals. These are powerful political and economic alliances. They're telling you that the governments and the global financial elites have chosen their network for the future. They are not just using it, they are building on it. This is why the HBAR price prediction is not based on speculation, but on adoption at the highest levels of power. But this all leads to a massive question that many in crypto want to avoid. The crypto purists will tell you that true decentralization is everything. So why is Hedera governed by a council of the world's largest, most politically connected corporations? Some will call it a corporate politburo. But the truth is, this is a strategic genius. In a world where regulations and political connections are everything, Hedera has a board of directors that can influence policy, secure massive government contracts, and ensure the network stability. In a recent move, Blockchain for Energy B4E, a consortium of global energy companies, joined the council. This isn't just a business deal, it's a statement that the energy sector, a core part of our global infrastructure, is committed to building its future on Hedera. This is why governments and financial institutions trust it. It's a familiar structure. It's a network that has oversight and accountability. While other projects are fighting regulatory battles, the Hedera Council is negotiating deals. This is the difference between a garage startup and a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. It is the political reality of the digital world. And it's a huge reason why this asset is positioned for success. While the headlines are about politics and prices, the on-chain data tells a different story. And it's one that screams accumulation. The amount of HBAR available on exchanges is at historic lows. This isn't random. It means that the smart money, the institutional investors, the politically connected insiders who know what's coming, are quietly buying and holding. They are taking their coins off the market, reducing the supply. This is a classic setup for an explosive move. When a major catalyst, like an ETF approval or a new government partnership, hits, the demand will be massive, but the supply will be gone. What happens when demand is high and supply is low? The price goes through the roof. And this is happening right now, under your nose, while the price is still cheap. Remember that conversation about Wall Street and Main Street? This is another political and financial move that supports that narrative. Recent listings of HBAR on major US exchanges like Kraken and Robinhood are a clear signal. These aren't just for liquidity, these are about access. It's about making it easier for the average American to buy Hedera, especially as they prepare for the influx of 401k money. It's a calculated move to ensure that when the floodgates open, the money has a place to go. This is not a coincidence. This is a strategy. A political and financial strategy that is being executed flawlessly. We started this video with a number, 45 cents. But as we've seen, that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's the short-term target that the chart is predicting as a direct result of these political shifts. The real HBAR price prediction isn't a single number. It's a movement. It's a tidal wave of institutional money and real-world adoption that will redefine what crypto is all about. The 401k money is coming. The Wall Street rails via the ETF are being laid down by a new political order. The technicals are signaling a major move. And the real-world utility with governments and corporations is already here. This isn't about hype. This is about a political and financial conspiracy unfolding right before our eyes. The question is, are you going to be a victim of it, or are you going to get in front of it? The real Hedera HBAR price prediction is that it will break its all-time high and enter a new phase of price discovery. The numbers on the screen are the clues. The political decisions are the evidence. The rest is up to you. This is a crucial time in history. The financial system is being rebuilt, and it's happening at the highest levels of power. You have the opportunity to participate in this. If you're still sitting on coins you're not confident in, you're not seeing the bigger picture. You're not seeing the political and financial gears turning. You have to be positioned for the future. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your trust and I'm honored to be on this journey with you. Until the next one, stay informed and stay encouraged. Peace.